Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan. Today we are going to talk about the 43rd part, sorry, 53rd part. With basically that is the connected with the formula word. Basically, just now we have saw basically how the banking investment do the investment, how the banking investment is added in the formula part, how the government creates the lesson basically in front of businessmen and basically keeps happy the businessman, and basically how the government businessman group basically pay the tax amount. And we have saw that also that how basically Adani group basically lost 15 lakh crore and 20 lakh. It's basically just rough amount I am telling you. And like this basically how government says that we are running the India country from the Adani money and 15 lakh crore. Like this basically this was heard basically with someone. I'm not directly telling that in Indian government is running their government like this only basically directly. And if they are running like this basically, then basically the Adani and like this businessmen, like big businessmen, they are basically the part of the employee basically, you can say, of the government basically. That also you can say like this because government says that we can't trust anyone because it's basically Indian rupees which is getting converted into the investment, and that Indian rupees basically gets converted to the international level also basically. I will take one more example of the formula word basically here. One US basically businessman basically invested um, 10,000 crore basically, 10,000 crore dollar. So basically like this basically the 10,000 crore money was invested in the it was invested in the you can say in India basically, and India basically printed the 10,000 crore dollar in Indian currency basically, and like this basically they just see basically how the formulas are basically connecting, and each and every things are basically getting calculated, and how each and every attributes are getting connected basically, because it's very deep basically. If you think the formula from the one formula only basically, on the base of this formula only entire software industry is surviving, that also you can say. So basically how this is so important basically, that also we are going to see. So 10,000 crore has been invested to the Indian government, and like this basically Indian government know that one day the money has to be given back to the that NRI, yeah, that American person also, because they have invested, so we have to give that money back also. So like this basically the currency was printed, and the government has given one name that this businessman has invested this many money. So the currency amount was printed on the behalf of that person, and the government has told that we have to give the return money also to that person basically. Like this money was taken by the government in the form of US person basically, and the US person has given the money by on the form on the base of the investment basically. So he has invested the money, so that much money also was printed in the India basically. So basically whenever the money gets invested, then basically the US currency gets convert to the India basically Indian currency, then basically the currency department prints the money, and like this basically each and every money has printed, each and every big level investment basically happens, that basically money gets printed, and that basically is allocated in certain accounts basically, you can go. You can give them, you can give this name as accounts basically, this person account, this person investment basically account, and investment account basically there are many persons invested. So like this the person has invested the money, and the currency has amount as printed. So like this basically each and everything basically just now I have told, that are basically one user stories, and that to create the user story lots of expenses has happened. After that expenses lots of income is also going to be generated, and when income is going to generate it, then the formula also basically will do the plus minus, because the income is getting generated after the expense has done. So like this basically formula says that whatever things happens in the user stories, and that user story converts into the formula, and then basically each and every formula attributes basically gets effect. So basically this formula word basically attributes keeps on changing on the certain periods basically, you can say. Certain period means basically you can say for a few time basically the formula, because if the formula gets changed frequently, like the share bazaar gets changed, then basically lots of things basically will happen basically. That's why basically the formula, which attributes are basically calculated, and the amount which gets the software industry, that basically are on the some certain period basically. So basically there are certain, there are, you can say, lots of backlog also created, that after this period basically we are going to charge software into software money as a this, and after this period basically this will be the this will be the income of software company. And like this basically each and every things are basically created. And like this the formula word basically is adding this also each and everything. Like this formula word says that we have taken lots of things into the picture, and this user story basically whatever things which we have discussed about the backlog of the software cost, basically the cost is the software cost is getting backlogged. And like this each and everything else basically we have taken. And then we have taken the example of Adani Group, how basically Adani Group money has taken by the government. And like this how basically they are running the India country. So basically this is the worst bad sales industry basically, you can say this is basically one of the bad sales basically industry which is basically done by the government. So basically this is story, one of the story basically, this is told by one of the person. I'm not telling directly that I am telling you that government is running like this there, yeah, like this the India country basically. So then basically one person asked the government people, they were like, why you have done this please. Then basically they told that the people is not paying the tax amount, then basically from where basically we are going to run the country basically. We are not we are not millionaire country basically, and we are not getting the money from the NRIs, we are not getting the money from the outside India. So basically from where basically we are going to run the country basically. We have to create lots of budget. The railway has to create lots of budget. The plane industry basically has to create lots of budget. The food industry is there. The medical industry is there. The construction industry is there. So basically, from where basically we are going to take the money? If tax basically our businessman is paying, then basically, but that tax amount is not enough. Basically, they are telling that like this basically tax amount is not enough. So on the base of that, basically we are doing this type of stuff. Basically, this was basically just user story. When this was told by that person to that person, that was basically government people, and that government people was told to that person. And like this, basically, the Adani money was taken, that is 15 lakh crore to 20 lakh crore by the government, and they are government is telling we are running the country from your money basically, because we are not getting enough money. So basically, government one of the person told that this was very bad sales basically, the worst sales basically. Even the private industry has seen this basically. So basically, private industry has never seen this type of sales. Basically, they were telling that this is basically one discussion ongoing between two few peoples. Basically, in this basically government person is also there, Microsoft corporation person is also there. Then the that person basically who basically got this information that this type of investment has happened. So like this basically each and every stuff, and each and everything basically why the project management plan industry basically has to know, because each and everything basically from where the money has came, and how the money has invested, and how basically the formula is getting effect basically, because here the lots of cost are going to effect basically. And software industry says that basically in market lots of fluctuations happens basically. So we can't keep this cost into live basically, live like a stock exchange basically. And few people says that stock exchange is also like this only. And like this the like this basically the backlog has cost has been taken. And the cost basically says that the for the certain period this will be the cost of the software. So basically from this what are the things main came to each in this picture basically. The things basically came into picture, that is it's a software union basically, you can see if one person is not getting job, then basically you have to assume that it's you are tracked into that one software union, and they are going to give you lots of problem basically. So what are the things basically that person has to do to get out from this software ban basically? Because I will take one more example. in front of world basically the in front of world basically the India and each and every rules basically has created by Baba Sahib Ambedkar, right? This is basically in front of world basically, but in real basically it might be totally different way basically, because lots of people say that we have to think negatively, because it might possible that some issue comes into international level and then that might create lots of problems. So basically, um, the law industry has created like this basically the in front of world basically it's a Baba Sahib Ambedkar, and but in real basically it might be somebody else, someone else group. This is also basically was written in one of the website basically. Um, Basically this I am not telling you, this is basically written in the one of the websites. I don't have any proof also basically, because when I saw that website again, that time basically that content was removed basically. So basically here basically I want to say one more thing basically, that whatever things is happening in this world basically that is listed in the each and every websites, that like this basically Baba Sahib Ambedkar is rules and regulation is basically in front of world, and basically but in real basically the rules and regulation is created by somebody else basically. So like this basically here what I want to say, here I want to say that the law group industry basically which they has came into picture, that data basically is also going to be added in the formula keyword basically, you can say. So in the formula keyword, you can say in formula keyword this the law part basically which I have discussed, that is also going to be come into the picture. So basically here basically we are stopping, and this was basically the 40th 53rd number, and 54th part basically we are going to discuss little bit more about the government industry, how they are running the country, and up to what bad level sales industry is ongoing. And private people are telling that we are doing the copy of the government, and government is telling that we are copying the bad sales of them. This basically one of the person has asked when basically I was in interview, that what actually sales is. So basically he should watch this video, and he should see basically the what actually the sales is, what is the sales definition. And this each and in next part basically we are going to see basically exactly how how bad basically government is running the country basically, how basically so how basically if government says that we don't get money from the tax, then up to what level bad basically we are going to do, and we have done up to what bad level. And example is Adani group industry basically. So this is basically not my word basically, this is told by somebody else, but I am just displaying you this all the thing basically. And like this we are stopping here, this is basically 53rd number part, and 54th basically we are going to see a little bit more about the formula word. And in this basically the topic is going on how government is running their countries, sorry country.